So we are live. So hello everyone, welcome back to Geeks for Geeks. My name is Muskan Agarwal and today we are here with yet another very interesting webinar. So before I get started, just give me a thumbs up in the comment section if I'm perfectly visible and audible. And then, as you all must have already read from the thumbnail as well as from the title of this webinar, so I will quickly start with the webinar, but just give me a thumbs up if I'm perfectly visible and audible. So we are in this webinar, we are going to discuss about the event technical scripter, and we have our winners for last year, and they are going to help you on how to select the topic, what you should keep in mind while you are writing your article and everything about it, so that you know the chances of winning for you this year increases. So I'll be adding my guests really soon, but just give me a thumbs up in the comment section if I'm visible and audible. Also ask your friends to join in. Thank you, Taranpreet. Thank you, Sumedha. Yes. I'll just wait for another 30 seconds or 1 minute maybe so that more people join in and then we can quickly start with adding our guests to the stream. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging, guys. Okay. So a lot of people have acknowledged. Now I'll add Taran to the stream. Hi, Taran. How are you doing?
Hi Muskan, I'm doing great.
Yes. So in this webinar, as we have discussed that we are going to discuss about what helped you win last year's technical scripter and what all, how did you choose the topic? What all points did you keep in mind while you are writing the article? So firstly, let's start with how did you come up with the topic?
Okay. Okay. So like last year, when Geeks for Geeks organized this technical writing event, so like previously also I have been like writing articles for Geeks for Geeks. So I was like, okay, I will be participating in this contest, and like the topic I choose was like I am currently doing BTech from computer
Yeah.
science. So I was like very much majorly involved in aspects of data structures and algorithms. So mostly all of my the topics on which I wrote article in the event consisted of data structures and algorithms. And other along with that, I'm also like keen on development, so I also wrote some 2 to 3 articles on cloud computing. So this was like my main area where I wrote articles. And if I talk about like on which topics in data structures and algorithms, so like as we guys who are doing BTech in computer science, we know that like we have been practicing like different areas in data structures and algorithms. So
Right.
like I chose some topics, like I wrote articles on arrays, I wrote articles on graphs, I wrote articles on dynamic programming. And like the main thing to keep in mind while writing these articles is like the article, when it is read by someone, should be very much clear, like to the point. So that
Right.
is the main thing. So like Geeks for Geeks also gives us like the whole idea how you should write an article, and like how it should be an efficient for the viewer who is reading it. So you have to properly like uh, take a description, take a title to your article, properly describe what you are going to explain in the article, like what is the topic. And then you have to properly give like some input output along with the explanations, so as to the viewer understand what the like the what the writer is trying to explain us. And along with that, after that, we have to write an approach, so that like the viewer get to know what idea the writer is trying to explain us, and along with that, implementation. And after all it ends, we also need to add a time and space complexity, so that the viewer or the reader gets to know how much efficient is the article the writer has wrote. So these all points I kept in mind while writing the article. So yeah, that was it.
I think these are some really great tips, and I think one should remember all of these while writing their article this year. Also, I can see a lot of comments about the details of the event, so everything would be mentioned in the description box, and all the links are there along with the dates, so you can check them out. Also, thank you, Taran, for your great tips. Now, I would like to add Sauraja.
Thank
Hi,
you.
how are you doing?
Hey, hi, Muskan.
How are
Yeah,
you
I'm doing
doing,
great.
sir? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'm
great.
doing great. Yeah.
Okay. So, talking about what Taran said, that he chose data structure and algorithms, right? And about cloud computing. But I could see
Mhm.
that there are a lot of articles on that. So, how do you choose an article, or how do you come up with a topic that is not already there on the website at Geeks for Geeks? Because I see a lot of questions on that.
Mhm. Yeah, so actually, the I also talking about myself. I also focused on mainly on data structures and algorithms only, because like when I was doing the writing for the GFG this GPL, so I never took it as like writing. I did it as a freelancing. So and the contest was organized at a time like our placements were near. So like we were
Right.
already practicing a lot of data structures and algorithms that time. So like my idea was whenever I ca- came across with some new concept or new type of problem, so I used to think that how can I implement that thing into something other. So or I can how can I modify it to something newer thing which is not there. And like when we are writing the article, so in the title box, so when we write the keywords about the topic, so it is important to like select your tagline of the topic, uh, that must be to the point with the content of your topic. So like if I am say say maximum sum or something I am choosing as my topic. So when I select that topic, so GFG like uh, a list of pre-existing articles with similar kind of name and nature comes up, so you can see and always cross verify that if the topic is existing or not. Yeah.
Correct, correct. So that is a really great tip, guys. If you're watching this, you can also, select the tags as he mentioned and see what topics are not already there, and
Yeah,
then try
also
to write.
hmm, in the GFG profile page, we can filter out a topic wise contents. So
Right.
suppose you are trying to write a content on say web development, say Spring Boot or something, so you can
Hmm.
just scroll through the articles, pre-existing articles, and like uh, create something new of yourself.
Correct. Because I think there is a very important thing, like which is mentioned in the details of the event, that the article on which you're writing should not be already there at the portal.
Yeah.
So you should
Yeah.
keep that thing in mind, and then start writing your article.
Hmm.
Yes. Also, talking about your article, if you want to tell what are the key points that you kept in mind while you were writing your article and before you finally submitted your article to the portal.
Hmm. Yeah, so I learned a lot. So actually, when I first started writing articles, so I many times, a few times, my articles got stuck in the review because they were not as per the standards. Because GFG always reviews it before publishing. So from there, I learned many things like how to the code, how to improve the code quality. So my articles were mainly focusing on data structures and algorithms. So if you are doing code related something, so the code quality must be good. Like if you have to name the function names properly so that it makes sense. So, say I am finding a sum of something array. I want to name it, I would name the function properly, so that the the goal actually at the end what matters is like it should be understandable by the reader in one go. So make it as simple as possible. Like using tough vocabulary, I don't think will be very useful. Make it as simple as possible, and at the same time, it should be to the point so that the reader just uh, he understands your approach clearly.
Correct.
Mhm.
I think the viewers can take inspiration from the already existing articles that are there, because whenever you read any article from Geeks for Geeks, it is like you quickly understand it. So I think
Yeah.
you can take inspiration from there and then start working on your article. Okay, now I can
Yeah,
hand
and
Rohit.
also another thing I would like to mention is, like, if you are writing something, try to like give two, three approaches of it if it's possible. Try to create a multi-dimensionality to the problem.
Correct, correct. So these are some really great tips, and I hope that the viewers who are writing this, so just keep these points before submitting your article in your mind. So okay, so hi Rohit, how are you doing?
Hello, Muskan. I'm doing great.
Yeah. So let's start talking about the article that you submitted to Geeks for Geeks. Was your article also related to data structures and algorithms, or was it something different?
Yeah, actually, I wrote article related to data structure and algorithm, and two articles I wrote related to web development on CSS
Hmm.
topic. So the article that like won the prize was suffix sum array. So it was an article which is based on competitive programming. So I'm into competitive programming. So it is a pre-computation topic, so that the readers would be able to be getting help from those topics for competitive programming. So that was my article. Yeah.
Okay. And as Swaraja mentioned that you should give proper variable names and your code should be clear. Are there any additional tips, because your topic was related to a particular question? So are there any tips that someone should follow if they are writing an article which has some code involved in it?
Yeah, I think so. The first thing that the writer should know is the format of that particular article. Like GFG has a particular format in which they have to write the article. Like firstly, we have to write the problem statement. Then we would be giving the examples, like two or three examples of sample input output, and then the approach, and finally the code, and then the time complexity and space complexity, as mentioned by my friends as well. So this is the general pattern. So one should follow this particular thing. Proper documentation should be there. Easy to read words should be used. Not tough vocabulary should be used, as mentioned.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah, I think these are some very little
basic.
details that people often tend to neglect, and that decreases their chances of winning in this event. So yes, you guys should keep them in mind, and also go through the website really thoroughly. And as he mentioned that there is a proper format in which you should submit your articles, so do follow that format, because I've seen a lot of people do not follow that format. Right. Okay. So now we collected few of the questions that were very frequently asked on this event. So I have those questions jotted down, so we can take them one by one. Okay. Um, just one second. So the first question was, there are some people who want to follow this content writing as a full-time job opportunity. So what do you think? Are there enough job opportunities for a technical content writer, and is the pay good? We can start with you, Taran.
Okay. So yes, like every other job, there is like proper job for technical content writer in the corporate market. Like one can join a particular organization as a content writer. Like there are huge number of organizations that hire content writers, and talking about technical content writers, so they have the work to properly document all the like the code part which is being written by developers, software developers, and
Right.
they have to like properly document it. And you might have also seen, if I talk in simple terms, that there are GitHub repositories where the code is being published by all the software developers, but the readme and all other documentation thing is done by the technical content writers. And
Right.
if I talk about the paying term, that is also good, because eventually you are also working, unlike all other developers, on technical part. You are like writing not code, but like things which are in technical terms. And I would also like to mention, like Google also has one of its competition, which is GSOD, GSOT. which is Google Season of Docs, and that is basically for technical content writers. And the pay, if I would like to mention, it is like around like it is greater than 6 lakhs, and it can go up to 9 to 10 lakhs. And this Google Season of Docs is a complete event of around 5 to 6 months, and it depends upon each organization. So yeah, like one can think of having a career in technical content writer.
Correct. I think this field is a little less explored, and people think that the pay is not good, and so a lot of people do not go in this field. Is anybody of you following content writing like freelance or full time?
Yeah, like if I talk about myself, then I started exploring it on Geeks for Geeks. Like I got to hear about like Geeks for Geeks pays users who write articles on their website for the
Right.
readers. And similarly, there are many more websites if you try to explore. So yeah, I started it from Geeks for Geeks only as a
Correct.
freelance, or I can say a part-time internship.
Yeah, there are a lot of freelance opportunities for content writers. Like if you explore, there are a lot of opportunities. What about you, Saraja and Rohit?
Yeah, same
Yeah,
for me as
so
well. I started in GFG itself, like in the Geeks Premier League event last year. So it was my first time there. I like started to write articles. So yeah, that was my first goal.
Great.
yeah. So I officially started as a technical content writer intern at GFG from I guess 2021 December, and then I took part in the Geeks Premier League contest. So for my case, in my case also, like my first official experience as a technical content writer is on the GFG platform itself. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Then coming to the next question, that people say that your content should be good and everything, but what is the definition of a good content? If you have to mention some of the top three components that a good content should have, so what it should be, we can start with you, Saraja.
Yeah, so I think this we already mentioned some of it in the tips. Like the first and foremost thing is the proper format. So when you write a content, you should follow a proper format. So a proper format will not only enhance the readability of the content, it also like makes it appears good, and readers are more easily able to understand the content. Then you have to like choose the topic. Choosing a topic is like the tagline, and tagging is important. It should be to the point and appropriate. And again, like if you are having something code related things, then you should name the variables properly. Like the naming conventions should be followed. And like you may also like add comments and explain your what you are doing in the code in 2 or 3 lines, so it will enhance the understandability of the content. Yeah.
Correct. Okay, then the next question, Rohit, you can take it up. That if you want to suggest any three topics, because I can see a lot of comments like, what topic should I choose? People are really confused. If you want to suggest any topic to the people who are, planning to submit their article in this year's technical scripter event, so if you can suggest any topics.
Okay, so Geeks for Geeks is a very vast platform. So you can choose any of the topic, which is like from computer science background, or maybe now they're also promoting school like articles like from history, geography, science, and many other. So in the computer science background, if you are from like BTech or doing engineering, then definitely you can go for some DSA articles. Then if you are interested in web development or Android app development, then you can go for that as well. Then there is cloud computing. Then even computer science topics like operating system, DBMS, they are also given preference. So yeah, that is a good choice. And even machine learning is like kind of very trending right now. You can write on blockchain. So yeah, these are some of the topics, in my opinion, which I picked.
Also data science is one of the trending topics right now. You can also choose
Yeah,
from data science and data analytics as well. Yeah.
yeah.
And I think this field is not very explored on our page, so you can definitely consider this topic. Taran, do you have any suggestions for the articles this year's contestants can choose from?
Yeah, as like my friend mentioned, like it is a very vast like there are topics which are not yet covered by anyone. Like if I talk about data structures and algorithms, everyone is like writing on the
Yes.
same, and you might find some difficulty in choosing topics which are not already present on the portal.
Correct.
But yeah, like but there are other topics which you can take up. If you are a like BTech student, you can go up with the academic subjects which we study in our college, as my friend told, OS, DBMS, computer networking, and there are many subjects. And for a school student, they can also like cover some like not very major topics but minor topics in computer science subjects which we study in class 10th, 12th. And maybe some social subjects. Like I also like read some articles which were related on history and some other school subjects, so maybe one can go for that also.
Okay, great. Also, the next thing is reviewing. So I've heard that a lot of people suggest that before submitting your article, get your article reviewed by your friend or someone who is expert in that field. So did you guys also get your article reviewed by someone or get it checked before you finally submitted it? We can start with you, Swaraja.
Yeah, so review is, I guess, it's a lot important, because, like, at the end of the day, what matters is how understandable your content is, and like, I had one friend who informed me about, from whom got to know about this technical content writing. So he had some prior experience in writing on GFG platform as well. So at first few articles, like, I used to like uh, just get a review from him, that if it's okay or not, if the formatting and like all these stuffs, the code quality. Yeah, because as I said now, so because at first few attempts I got stuck in the official GFG review because my quality was not up to the mark. Yeah, so.
Right. Okay.
Mhm.
What about you, Taran?
Yeah, like we can say if someone is starting as a beginner, then it is important for him to get it reviewed by someone, because when someone reviews it from his side, his or her side, then he will like point out you the little error mistakes which you might find it negligible, right?
Right.
And which is like very important for a reader who is reading your article. So yes, getting it reviewed by someone is very important, and that is why I guess Geeks for Geeks has like made it a process that first writer writes an article, and then they take some days to like properly review it, and then they publish the article.
Correct. And because we are writing about something which is related to our field only, right? So you can give your friends your article to review it, because mostly all of them will have knowledge in that particular field.
Yeah.
So that ways you will not have a problem. You can just send your article to two, three friend of
Yeah.
yours and they can review it. Yeah.
Right.
What
The
about
official GFG reviewers are very friendly. So, like, they will comment, and like they will mention that, hey, you can maybe modify this part as well. So yeah, but
correct.
then this makes the process time taking. So if you get
Mm,
it reviewed by yourself, then the submission process from your
correct.
writing till the publishing, it will be more seamless.
Correct. What about you, Rohit? Did you get your article reviewed and how did it help you?
Yeah, I think so. Firstly, you should also research about some of the articles. Like you should take reference from some other articles. Like how are those articles written on that particular domain? Let's suppose if you're writing DSA articles, so check some DSA articles which are already published. So
Right.
format it accordingly, and if it is like properly formatted, firstly review it by yourself, then maybe if you can give it to your friends, they can also review it. And GFG officially has a process to review, so they will finally be reviewing your article. So yeah.
Correct. Okay. Now we can take few of the questions that are from the audience section. So guys, just put your questions or whatever doubts you have regarding the event in the comment section, and I will try to take the questions one by one. So I'm just waiting for another 30 seconds. Just put down all the doubts that you have regarding the event in the comment section. So there's a question that can we write on non-technical topics? You can take it, Taran.
Yes, like as I talked about, like it is not needed that everyone is going to write on technical aspects. You can also like take up some non-technical topics. Like as I talk about, if someone is in their school times right now, so she can write upon topics which are being like studied on school. And other than that, also like we can take up some topics which are like not on technical terms, like very technical terms. So yeah, like it is allowed.
Okay. Yeah, because a lot of people I see that have this doubt. So guys, you have a lot, like everything is open to you all. So just select any unique topic and you can write on it. Not just technical, but non-technical as well. So there's one question which I think is already answered, but still I'll try to take it. That is it advisable to use simple vocabulary or we should use complex words to make it more attractive? So Raja, you can take it.
Okay. Yeah, so I believe that simplicity is the most attractive thing to do.
Hmm.
So if you are writing a technical content, like it's not like literature that you will make it more attractive by using complex vocabulary. At the end, like it is how the readers, how well the readers can understand your approach. So make it simple. I think that would be best.
Yeah, simplicity is the best. Basically, it should be understandable by the person who is reading
Mhm.
it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Okay, I think we have taken up all the important questions. Okay, so there was this question that are there any prerequisites before one should start with their journey as a content writer, as a technical content writer? Are there any prerequisites? Should one follow some particular course or go through something to get started with it? Rohit, you can take this up.
Yeah, I think so. There is no prerequisite for that. You should be having domain knowledge on a particular topic, like any of the domain you can choose. So that is one thing. And before starting out writing, you should, like as I mentioned earlier, you should just check some of the articles related to that topic. Let's suppose if you are writing DSA article, check some DSA articles, how they are written, how they are formatted. Just try to write like in the same format. So yeah, just start out. So that is one thing. There is no as such prerequisite for that.
Yeah. Okay. Um, I think we have taken all the important questions. Okay. How do Okay, there are some questions related to data structures, but guys, just keep the questions related to the event. We'll try to take those questions in some other webinar. Right. Also, we have the LinkedIn of Taran, Rohit, and Swaraja in LinkedIn profiles in the description box as well. So, in case after this webinar, also you guys have any doubts or any questions regarding the event, you can just try to ask them over. Okay. Okay, so there's a question how to write our own selected topic which is not mentioned on pick an article. Taran, you can take it.
Okay, so like Geeks for Geeks provide two ways. One of it is like they do give us a section of articles on which we can maybe pick an article and write on it, and otherwise, it is you can go to their the writing website, the write.geeksforgeeks.org, and you can directly start with your own article. You just like it would not be like you have a topic which is defined by Geeks for Geeks on which you have to write. It would be your own. So you have to describe the title of the article which you are going to write. You have to provide a good description, and the process follows unlike like other articles. So yes, you can also write on your own articles. It is not just that you have to select from the category of articles which Geeks for Geeks has provide.
Mention. Correct. Okay. I think we have taken all the important questions. So as we mentioned that if you have any questions after this webinar, you guys can, contact them through their LinkedIn profiles and get your doubts cleared. So thank you, Taran, Rohit, and Swaraja for coming to Geeks for Geeks and sharing about your experience. It was really great talking to you all, and I hope it helped, the students who are planning to submit their articles this year. It was really great talking to you.
Thank you, same here.
Hey, yeah, thanks,
Thank
Muskan.
you. Thanks,
Yes.
Muskan.
Thank you. Also, thank you guys for joining in. And yes, we'll see you in the next webinar. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, sure.
Take care,
Bye.
everyone.